Yeah, take a read. It's almost like this is what we've been saying all along. New study finds that counter to modern industry talking points. Women love playing as highly sexualized characters. I've said this before. I said women enjoy playing as sexy characters. I mean, everyone has said this at one point or another, but when we do, we're just called phobes, this, and isms. Women like to play as sexy characters. Men like to play as sexy characters. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. Just good-looking characters. I don't want some fat, ugly schlub who looks like me running around in a game. I don't. I prefer the attractive characters. So I mean, it's crazy. It would have to take a study to prove something that we've known all along. The left doesn't seem to understand that. These people are like, oh, you're just a bunch of phobes and isms. You guys are just, oh, you men are just disgusting, and you just want overly sexualized characters. And well, apparently, women like them too. What are you gonna claim that every woman has internalized misogyny or some crap like you always do because you're so pathetic and you can't think of anything else? So Caliber. For 4 years, the more terminally online among the mainstream Western video game industry, from developers to journalists to even players, have loudly proclaimed that not only are sexualized female characters somehow harmful to society, they're not, but that actual real world women also find such designs outright appalling. They don't. Why do you think you see so many people cosplaying? Why you see so many female cosplaying as these sexy characters? But no, they don't like them. They don't like them. Oh, we're like, why do you think they choose some of the most over sexualized characters? Think of like how many freaking Bayonettas you see walking around, or how many freaking whatever else you can think of. Zero Suit Samus and all these other characters that are very scantily clad or tight clothing because they like the look of being sexy. They like the attractive character. And when they don't have a character when you have a character that isn't very super sexy, say like Peach or Zelda, where she's very attractive, but she's not, you know, they rework the outfit a little bit to make it more sexy because women like that. Women like sexy characters too. However, according to a new study, these plural clutching, these pearl clutching claims could not be further from the truth. Yeah, we've said this at one point or another. I've said this all along. Authored by Ohio State University assistant communications professor Teresa Lynch. So it's a woman who also did this study with help of OSU PhD students Annie Dooley, so another female, Matthew X. Not even gonna bother. So one looks like two chicks and a dude, two girls, one guy. Entitled "Examining How Sex Appeal Cues and Strength Cues Influence Impressions for Female Video Game Characters." These studies sought to examine whether or not sexualized female characters having strong personality traits, as in Hollywood definition as strong female character, would help them be more likable by general players. Yeah, they are. I'll just it is, because when you can have sexy characters, but also have them well written, and that's what these companies don't seem to understand. I think it's important to understand how gender socialization and prejudice like sexism inform video game development and player experiences. Sexism pervades gaming. For example, game content overwhelmingly features male characters for the to the exclusion of sensual female or gender min- minoritized characters. Games that do feature female or gender minoritized characters often unfavorably Yeah, yeah, and they're not even well written. They're not even well written. They're just put there. It's like, oh, here's a gay character, but then it's like the most stereotypical gay character. Here's a black character. It's like the most stereotypical black character. It's like they don't. They're doing it for the representation. They don't care about making a good character that you can actually relate to apart from, their appearance. Um, in online gaming experiences, men and boys target women, girls, and gender minoritized individuals with sexist and harassing communication. I want to know more about why, when, and how these kinds of outcomes happen. At the same time, many women and girls and people who identify outside the binary enjoy gaming a great deal. I count myself among them, understanding why these people enjoy gaming games in spite of or even because the challenges sexism presents in gaming is fascinating to me. This study is one part of answering those big questions. Uh, Proceed to create, and as recap Eidolon, 4 distinct types of female characters using Bandai's Soul Calibur. Each character was customized to represent one of the 4 combinations of sexualization and strength. High sexualization with high strength, high sexualization, low strength, low with high, and low. Okay. Characters designed with high sexualization had features associated with previous research on sexually character portrayals, larger breasts, lower waist to hip ratios, revealing clothing. Characters with low sexualization cues, on the other hand, displayed more modest proportions and less revealing attire. Okay, they were just, telling what it was. Using these, create a characters in the first 239 undergraduate students, all of them between the ages of 18 to 51, and a majority being women, were shown brief gameplay clips of each respective CAC engaging in a fight, and afterwards asking them to rank them across several different dimensions, such as perceived sexualization, strength, femininity, and likability, as well as note whether or not they would ever be interested in actually playing as said CAC in a game. And then you have some people who are weird, and this is all they care about. It could be an ugly freaking character. Like this chick could have no face at all, and they're like, again, I don't get it. I don't get obsession with feet because feet are probably the worst looking part of the body. I don't get the obsession with people that they have. It's just, please, someone explain to me. It's not like a hand where most, all the digits on everyone are pretty much the same. No, feet are all wonky. Things can be crooked or longer than need be and veiny, and it's just I don't see the appeal. Please, someone explain. If you are a foot person, please explain. I'm not bashing you in any kind of way. It's just like I don't understand what looking at feet and just be like, oh. It's like people with like looking at backs or something. It's like I don't get it. Come here, girl. Let me see that clavicle. It's like, oh. As a result, Lynch's team found that while supported strength cues when addicted to a sexualized character, did little to overwrite said character's sexy perception at the end of the day. On the other hand, characters with high sexualization were viewed more as traditionally feminine, yet they were also less liked, particularly by female participants. Yeah, like I said, they like sexy characters. I mean, I don't see what's so hard to understand about this. It's just how human beings are. Whether it's male or female, we like sexy things. Is this really hard to comprehend? Do we really need to do a study about this? We've been saying this for the past how many years now? Women like sexy characters. Despite what the freaking morons on Twitter and everything say, women like to play sexy characters in games. Women like to look at sexy characters on screen. But characters who are well written, who they don't have to relate completely to them, but they don't want to be like, oh, she's a strong, powerful female, but she's ugly. Or, oh, look, she's really beautiful, but she's a complete dum-dum. Why can't you have both together? Women like attractive characters. Simple as that. And I can't believe it has to come to a study to say that. I've been saying this forever. Everyone else has been saying this forever. But no, we get called phobes, isms, misogynists, and this and that. And but if you don't want to stick your dick in it, it must not be good enough, right? Oh, you people are just disgusting. If a character's not attractive, it's not worth playing. No, I don't want to see some 500-pound character running around. One, logically, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't want to see a person who says they're a biological woman, but then she's built like a dude. All in the sake of, oh, she's a strong, powerful woman. No, you can have strong, powerful women who are sexy. And but in throwing a wrench into their assumed outcomes, the team also discovered that when given the choice, it was actually female players who were more preferred characters with high femininity traits, typical associated with higher sexualization cues, while men more picked characters that were strong yet less sexualized. From First Descendants. Unfortunately, rather than view this result as positive, as in discussion over the discussion over sexualized character is all but non-existent, let's move on to a new topic. Lynch instead felt that they instead showed how ingrained social beauty standards were in the minds of younger women. Here we go. It's like the internalized misogyny. No, people are just ingrained to admire, sexiness. We see certain traits and it just triggers something primal in our minds. It has nothing to do with social norms or we just how our minds work. And I don't. Why would any woman want that? Why would any woman? It wasn't surprised by the fact that participants in our study disliked the sexualized female characters. I wasn't surprised by the fact that in our studies disliked sexualized characters. I think especially among younger generations who have grown up with social media and to understand blah blah blah. Impossible beauty standards. I mean, if you're looking at someone and you think it's an impossible beauty standard, of course it is. It's a freaking video game. No one is going to have hips like, just like a perfect, or not even perfect, but like that. No one is going to have that. It's a video game. You can design however you like. If you look at a game like, oh, that's just beyond the realm of possibility. Of course it is. It's a video game. If you look at a comic book and like, how does she even handle that? Her back must be killing her. She's a freaking comic book character. I mean, why are people putting real life into, Important to remember that this character was also rated as the most feminine, as it's possible that women were just selecting character they most identified with. However, this finding highlight why this research is so important. If women are conflating sexual appeal with femininity, they can dissociate. Then can they dissociate those two concepts? As if entertainment media like video games continue to portray female characters by emphasizing sex appeal, how does this shape that expectations of women and women's value in society? Most people aren't stupid and they realize a video game is a video game. Most people in video games are obviously very proportioned very differently than people in real life. And if you're not a fucking moron, you know that. Like, I can look at a woman, and see like a chest out to fucking here and know it's a cartoon. It's a video game. Or you see like this really odd looking body shape where it's just like, woo, like really skinny right there in the stomach. And then it just like, You're not going to find that in the real world because it's a cartoon, it's a video game. People people aren't stupid. People aren't stupid. But you know, when you have other people in real life who are flaunted around for their bodies or their looks like the fucking Kardashians when all of them are fake and trying, you know, making little girls believe that that's the standard of beauty, then that's the problem. The video games are not the ones doing this. Hollywood and their media and all this, you know, with the fake celebrities with all their surgeries and this and that, and then trying to flaunt these people around like they're role models and this. No, those are the people you should be concerned about, not some big titty, big ass freaking video game character. Yeah, like Tifa and Aerith. Like, even though their portions are still relatively normal, you're not going to find anyone like them in real life. Why? Because they're video game characters. Yeah, Cammy, same thing. I mean, there might be people who are similar. Activist gaming, activist game journalists will absolutely ignore this because it doesn't fit their agenda. Yeah, like I said, if you're a woman and you like sexy characters and you prefer that, you have internalized misogyny. Believe the science. No one wants to play as ugly chick. This was gender studies. This was a gender studies student with her gender studies classmates. They never played the games, only watched videos of it. Irony, huh? But it's the point is, most people aren't stupid. They see a character like this and know that it's a character in a game. We don't have some high standard of finding a woman like this in real life because we know it's a video game. It's like the same people trying to say that like Mortal Kombat and GTA and too influential, and that's why people do bad things. I grew up with Mortal Kombat. I played it all the freaking time when it first came out. I don't go around trying to rip people's hearts out of their chest because I know it's just a game. Again, if you want to, when it comes to femininity and setting high beauty standards, look at the people they prop up on a pedestal in Hollywood. Those are the people who are doing the issues here. Those people who wear 50 pounds of makeup, stuff in their chests, stuff in their like their bodies have become more, you know, silicone and plastic than anything else, and they prop them up like they're the pinnacles of beauty and standards. And then they're looked at as role models by girls. Those are the people you should be looking at, not video game characters. Video game characters, girls just want to play as a sexy character. That's bottom line. It's just they want to play as a sexy character. Men like attractive characters. We don't want to be looking at someone who looks like us the entire time. We're naturally programmed to like sexy people or sexy things. So this just in. Human beings breathe air. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.